Now on WKRG News 5.
Everybody is okay in Pensacola. I'm News 5's Chad Petrie. We are live checking out some of the storm damage after daybreak.
And daylight has revealed the extent of that damage here in Pensacola. A live report coming up.
A much improved forecast after last night's stormy weather. We'll talk about that and look back as well on News 5 at 9 a.m.
From WKRG News 5, the Gulf Coast news leader. The news starts now.
Hello, thanks for joining us today for News 5 at 9. I'm Devin Walsh. First on 5 at this hour, we are just getting some video out of Pensacola, and we are seeing the destruction left behind after last night's tornado. Now, this is video from a drone from viewer John Oldshoe, and it gives you an idea of just how powerful this storm was. Now, you are looking right here at Mooring's apartment. We've been showing you pictures all morning long, but now we're seeing these from the air. 24 units were damaged, and keep in mind, these were brick apartments. Now, 3 people were pulled from the rubble and amazingly received only minor injuries. The top floor, as you can see, is pretty much gone in some parts, and the parking lot full of debris that was just thrown around. We have team coverage of the Escambia County, Florida tornado and severe weather this morning. News 5's Debbie Williams has been in the county seeing all kinds of damage, and she joins us now live from Eau Claire Estates, which is just north of Interstate 10 near Pensacola. Debbie?
Devin, you know, a lot of the areas have been blocked off, but this neighborhood here, this is the North Point Drive, Center Point, South Point. This is where they believe that the tornado or the possible tornado initially sat down. And you can see that this neighborhood is just devastated. This particular home, the roof, the walls are gone. The interior walls are standing, and you see the homeowner there picking up some of his belongings that he can. Amazingly, a lot of those extension cords and cables and things stayed right where they were, pegged on that wall. And as you walk down the street, you see the destruction from this house over across the way to a car that has been impaled by debris and different things. Roofs here gone, trees gone, power is out in this neighborhood, and we're seeing a lot more sightseers and folks in the neighborhood who didn't get as damaged, and they are now coming out taking pictures. It's just amazing to see, because we were earlier in the morning, we were just one street over where there was like cosmetic damage to homes and different things. We've seen RVs turned over, a lot of car damage from limbs and broken windows, and just slammed through as this storm made its way from about South Point Drive northeast onto Scenic Highway, where the Grand Baroque apartments are, that we have not been able to get to at this time. There is a briefing that will be held in about half an hour where we'll get an update on the damage estimates and the extent of the damage. I can tell you right now it's getting very windy and cold, and it is not the best time to be cleaning up after a tornado, but the folks here are doing the best they can. Live in Pensacola, Debbie Williams, News 5.
Thank you, Debbie. Well, we want to show you more video from that drone, video sent to us by John Oldshoe of Pensacola, who happens to be a meteorologist. Now, this gives you an idea of just how large the path of the tornado was. Now, this is around where Debbie was just standing. That path, about 2 miles long. This is Ferry Pass, which is northeast of Pensacola, and this is a community that borders the water. Look at this neighborhood. The tornado took roofs off of houses, and we're talking about big, beautiful houses with a pool there in the backyard. And the power of the winds took huge bites out of homes, just chunks of walls gone. Many of the outside walls of the homes are now thrown all over the place. And keep in mind, these houses, many of them are brick. People must have hunkered down in interior rooms, or we know there would have been more injuries in these neighborhoods. So far, we have heard reports of about 6 people with minor injuries. But the worst of the damage, as we've shown you, is right here at Mooring's apartments. 24 units damaged. The second floor blown off of many of the units. You can see right into the apartments from the air. And there's a lot of debris in the parking lots. And if you move on a little bit closer to the water, this is the GE plant, and there are parts of things, electronics, just scattered all over the place. Now, earlier, Debbie was north of I-10 showing us some of the damage. damage. We want to take you now south of I-10, and that's where we find News 5's Chad Petrie with a look at another tornado-damaged neighborhood. Chad?
Right, we are at the corner of Dunmire Street and Shadow Lane, and this is something you don't want to see when you get up after a long night. Just a lot of tree damage. In fact, should be a two-way street. Right now, it's cut down to a one-way street. Bad over that side, bad over on this side, too. A lot of down tree limbs over here as well. But this isn't nearly the worst damage that we've seen so far. Let me show you some video from earlier this morning of those apartment complexes, the Moorings apartment complexes in Pensacola. That's where, again, 20 apartment units or more were smashed by this storm. Again, people very grateful that there were no, at least thus far, no reports of any serious injuries or deaths, which is really quite significant. Authorities saying that really the timing of this storm made all the difference, that it happened just after 8 o'clock. Had it happened an hour or two later, most of those apartment complexes have bedrooms on the second floor, and that's where the storm hit. Could have been a totally different story, but today, a lot of people are feeling blessed.
There's a lot of people that's praying. I'm going to tell you, it takes prayer. God is the only answer to this. It really is. It really is. There's nothing nobody can do. The weatherman can even say it's coming, and it don't even come when they say it's coming.
Another thing that we've seen, of course, our power crews trying to get things back to normal around here. People without electricity for most of the night. No word on exactly how long it's going to take to get everything back in order. But back out here live, you can see a lot of damage, a lot of stuff that still needs to be cleaned up. People having their fences knocked down and other damage. But for the most part, it looks like, for the most part in this neighborhood, people are pretty much okay for right now. Devin, back to you.
Thank you, Chad. Certainly is a mess there, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. There is damage all over our viewing area. Let's go ahead and check in with meteorologist John Nodar.
All right, first off, the storms have moved away. They are along the east coast now. We get just tiny little dribbles of rain as a possibility today, about a 10% chance that you'll be rained on. But these are some, not all, of the storm reports from yesterday. And you notice they come in two swaths across the News 5 area. We'll talk more about how that happened later. But there were other areas that saw, well, all kinds of different hazards. Hail, 1.8 inches in Wade in the community right there at Highway 63 in Jackson, Mississippi. That's ping pong ball sized hail. They had thunderstorm wind damage in Coffeyville, knocking down trees over a couple of roadways, including Highway 154. And a tornado knocked down a barn and damaged a house in the area up around Avery in Greene County, Mississippi. Now it's clouds and windy conditions and cooler temperatures, but overall things are looking up over the next couple of days. We'll talk about it next.
Thanks, John. At least one home was damaged in State Line, Mississippi. People there say either a tornado or strong winds blew through the area, knocking down trees and power lines near Old Avery Road. Now, this home took the brunt of it. Some windows are broken and part of the garage is damaged. We're told an elderly woman was inside at the time, but neither she or anyone else in the home was injured by the storms. Let's go now to Lamar County, Mississippi, just west of Hattiesburg. A 73-year-old man was killed as yesterday's storm moved through. A possible tornado picked up his mobile home and flung it nearly 500 feet. Survey teams from the National Weather Service are expected in the area today to rule out whether or not this was a tornado, and if so, how strong it was. Some frightening moments for many in Gulf Shores and Orange Beach, including RVers at Gulf State Park, when severe weather prompted a tornado warning. The beach communities were pounded with heavy rain, gusty winds, and a lot of lightning. Flooding was also a problem on Perdido Beach Boulevard. A pizza delivery driver got stranded in rapidly rising water. His vehicle stalled in the middle of the road. And at Gulf State Park, dozens of folks there left their RVs and rode out a tornado warning inside the ladies' restroom at one of the campground bathhouses. The campers made the best of it until the warnings expired. They sang, laughed, and one man even played his harmonica for the group. Still to come, Republican frontrunner Donald Trump is on a roll as Nevada delegates make their voices heard in the presidential race. What's next? Stick around.
And digital dangers, we're going inside your ears to show you what these headphones are doing to our ear health.
Reduce brown spots and freckles with a quick and effective laser treatment at the Martin Center.
I'm going to enjoy killing you.
Deathstroke. NBC's Legends of Tomorrow. Thursday at 7 on the CW 55.
The new Toyota RAV4 and Sienna. Your choice. On sale now at Eastern Shore Toyota with 0% financing up to 60 months and backed by our nationwide lifetime warranty. Unlimited time and miles, no extra cost at Eastern Shore Toyota. Passionate for customer satisfaction.
Businessman Jerry Carl ran for office because he was tired of politicians who never kept their word and rarely delivered results. Jerry has kept his word. District 3 now has more than 50 miles of new roads and 6 new bridges. With Jerry, local industry produced 4,000 new jobs. All this without raising taxes. Jerry personally gave more than $190,000 to schools of his own salary. Let's keep Jerry Carl working for us.
The greatest home show in Mobile is this weekend at the Alabama Cruise Terminal in downtown. Friday from 2 until 5 and 10 to 5 on Saturday and Sunday. Parking is free and vendors are eager to help you with your next remodeling project or your next new home. Tickets are $7 for adults. Children 12 and under are free. Come to the greatest home show in Mobile because we've got you covered. You'll see floors and garage doors, builders, remodelers, realtors, insurance banks, and mortgage representatives. We have appliances, backyard designers, closet systems, windows, doors, and more. The greatest home show in Mobile.
Why are these people so happy? They just received a $1,000 advance from their tax return the same day they visited One Stop Tax, Income Tax Preparation Services. Get more money this tax season. We guarantee you'll get the maximum refund. One Stop Tax is fast and accurate with extremely low fees. Want to be happy and up to $1,000 richer? Today, visit One Stop Tax, Income Tax Preparation Services.
In today's national headlines, presidential candidates vying for the White House are turning their focus to Super Tuesday states, and that includes Alabama. Last night, the Republican caucus in Nevada wrapped up. CBS News is projecting Donald Trump pulled off a big victory in the Silver State, fueled by voters angry about the government. Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz battled over second place in their quest to become the alternative to the Republican frontrunner. Today, John Kasich makes a stop in Gulfport, Mississippi. There is a town meeting planned at Cafe Climb from 11 until noon. The event is free, but you will need to register on Eventbrite first. Alabama's primary is 1 week from today, and GOP frontrunner Donald Trump is heading back to our state. Trump has a commanding lead among Alabama voters. According to our recent exclusive News 5 poll, Trump will host a rally at Black Hall Aerospace in Huntsville. Doors open at 2. The event begins at 4. It's free, but you'll have to register on Eventbrite. This will be Trump's third visit to Alabama. Remember, back in August, he held a rally at Lad People Stadium. Trump also came to Birmingham back in November.
The storms are gone, the clouds are here, and we're looking at windy conditions today as well. We'll talk about that and some brighter weather to come next.
Don't miss news happening right now. Get the WKRG News 5 app. It's easy to get. Just go to the App Store or Google Play and type in WKRG.
Yo! No thank you for the bag, man. I hooked you up, bro. Try getting a deal like that from some other bag.
Tired of value, meaning boring food? Checkers and Rally's mouth-watering 2-for-2 deal is back. Your favorite irresistible crispy fish with Alaskan filet. Or our delicious, boldly seasoned spicy chicken sandwich. Mix or match them for a $2 steal you won't find on any value menu. Only at Checkers and Rally's.
Epic meals, epic deals.
So what is Kasasa? Is it a new dance move?
Woo! That's not Kasasa.
Is it a sauce?
Definitely not.
What about a football team?
No. Okay, imagine being rewarded for things you're probably already doing. With a Kasasa checking account at Century Bank, you earn cash rewards each month, your ATM fees are refunded, and there's no minimum balance required. So what are you waiting for? Start earning rewards today with a Kasasa checking account at Century Bank.
It's Truck Month 2016 at Bay Chevrolet, where you'll find the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size pickups on the road. 2015 Silverado Crew Cab LT with V8 fuel efficiency and high-strength steel construction. Truck Month price just $30,830 at Bay. Or get the comfort and convenience you deserve in the 2016 Chevy Equinox. Truck Month price just $19,348. Come by Bay today for big Truck Month savings. Go to baychevy.com and start shopping now. Bay Chevrolet, Government Boulevard at I-65, Exit 1.
After your car wreck, what do? First, seek medical treatment. Second, do not ever give a statement to the other driver's insurance company. The insurance adjuster is trained to ask you questions to destroy your case. Third, call or come by Green & Phillips today, and we'll help protect your rights. Our team lives and works right here in the community. We won't let some out-of-town insurance adjuster take advantage of you. That's the Green Guarantee. Call 1-888-510-1020.
Now, John Nodar with First Alert Weather.
It is 9:15 now on this Wednesday morning. Things much quieter this morning, thank goodness.
They really are. It's still a bit breezy out there, but an opportunity for some folks to clean up and for other folks just to go, whew, missed me, because it was rough out there. Let's take a look, show you what we've got going. Your forecast is for better weather today, much cooler and a windy Wednesday, but certainly nothing like Tuesday with the storm reports you see here, kind of in two swaths, and every kind of hazard from flooding to tornadoes to hail to wind damage, all happening in these two lines of thunderstorms. Let me go ahead and show you why. It's a process called training, where the thunderstorms move from one place to another along the same track, so to speak. So let's play yesterday's thunderstorms. There are the tracks, and then they just keep showing up along that same line over and over, and that causes, well, a lot of things, flooding, wind damage, and in this case, it puts you more in the path of storms that could produce tornadoes, and that's what happened yesterday. All right, radar today, a whole different kettle of fish here, with just a few little tiny showers in Greene County miss. We've seen a few of these across northern Mobile County into northern Baldwin County, but I'm talking about a spritz of rain, and that's it. On the bigger picture, it's actually a part of the system that came through yesterday, but the low pressure circulates air all the way around in this big arc. The heavier weather is going to be here to the east, and this is just kind of the backwash off of that system. Maybe a few tiny showers, and that's why we still have some clouds in our neighborhood as well. And we do have plenty of clouds, but we'll see more sun breaking through as the day wears on. You got a couple of blue spots over Midtown Mobile, seen from our tower camera, and from the Gulf Quest Maritime Museum, looking over the city skyline of Mobile. Gray skies, but again, it does improve later on today. Wind advisory until 6 p.m. It means windy enough to affect your driving, and the winds have been around 15 to 25 miles per hour all morning. They'll continue this way for a while yet, with gusts over 30, and the temperatures have been cooling into the low 50s, even the 40s during the morning hours. Now, as you get more sun breaking through those clouds, you end up with upper 50s for a daytime high, as reflected here in your first forecast. Skimpy 10% chance of a light rain shower this morning in some spots. Windy, a little more sun, 58 this afternoon, clearing and cool by 7 p.m. And then after our 50s today, this colder air starts moving down, and we end up in the 30s tonight for an overnight low. And that's not all. It's going to stay cool for probably tomorrow and Friday as well. Lots of sunshine on Thursday and Friday, and lighter winds, but highs in the 50s, lows in the 30s. A milder weekend and a dry, quiet pattern through the early part of next week.
Thank you, John. We are continuing our special series, Digital Dangers, and this morning we are focusing on hearing. Chances are you or someone you know has those bass-boosting headphones like Beats. Tech reporter J.B. Budo found out from the experts what blasting music through these headphones is doing to our ears.
They're cool. They're high-tech. They're loud. Bass-boosting headphones like Beats are the hottest audio accessory on the market. Do you crank them up all the way?
Yes, I do.
But their sheer power of volume isn't just getting noticed out in public. It's also being noticed in here.
It's fine to listen, but if I can hear it When I walk in the room with you, it's too loud.
Dr. Kimberly Elliott is an ear doctor.
We're going to switch ears, okay?
And Jennifer Taylor Guy is an audiologist at Premier Medical, and they're both concerned.
This is a whole new generation of children, adolescents, 20-year-olds who may show up with what we would consider older ears at a much younger age.
But Elliott says it's not just these Beats headphones, it's earbuds too, especially ones like Apple's that funnel sound directly into the ear.
It's always a problem even in adults, but in small children, the rule is the smaller the ear, the louder the sound grows in the ear, and the more dangerous it can be.
Let's go inside your ear and show you exactly what's happening here when you put on these headphones and crank up the volume. The music, it travels inside past the inner ear, past the eardrum, and it's hitting these microscopic hair fibers which are critical for your hearing. And all this music, it's doing irreversible damage to these hair fibers, and it's hearing loss you'll carry for the rest of your life.
You can think of it like waves beating against a shore. Basically, the sound comes in and it beats and it beats and it beats over time, and so you crush the little hair fibers over time that transmit the sound.
Taylor Guy says in some cases, symptoms in young ears are already showing up.
The child complains of ringing in the ear. The child complains of muffled speech. And the TV is turned up too loud.
Here's the golden rule. Both doctors agree to avoid hearing loss. Music volume should never go above 50%. But with kids, that's easier said than done. Can you do them half volume? Are you gonna put them at half volume because they're better for your ears, or what?
No. No, I will not.
It's a tech responsibility that falls on parents.
If you can hear it, you can hear what the child is listening to, then it's generally too loud.
For loud headphones with loud music, the volume must come down, or later on in life, we'll suffer the consequences of this digital danger. I want to stress a very important point that both experts made for this story. Beats headphones, earbuds, they aren't dangerous themselves, but using them at full blast for hours a day will do damage to your hearing, especially for children. Now tonight on Digital Dangers in Part 3, we're looking at what all this tech is doing to our brains and the brains of our children, some of whom are using devices around the same time they're learning to walk. For now, reporting in the studio, J.B. Buna, News 5.
Well, coming up, we're going to show you more video from Escambia County, Florida, from a drone to show you the extent of the damage. That is not the correct shot right there. We'll have more when we come back.
Sub King. Sandwiches made for a king.
Give me my lunch money back. Where's Alabama Hammer?
I've been standing up to bullies my whole life. Woo! Woo! I'm Mike Slocum, Alabama Hammer. If you've been injured in a car wreck, don't let the insurance company bully you. Call me right now.
When it comes to connecting to the world online, people have different needs. That's why high-speed internet from AT&T gives you the speed you need at a price you'll love.
Get high-speed internet, just $15 a month for 12 months with other qualifying service and a 1-year agreement, all on one bill.
No matter what you use it for, it's a connection you can count on. Save on smartphone and tablet data usage when you connect all your Wi-Fi devices at home. Just $15 a month lets you watch online videos, video chat, and play games. Plus, get 99.9% reliability to stream, surf, and download worry-free.
Get high-speed internet, just $15 a month for 12 months with other qualifying service and a 1-year agreement, all on one bill.
With high-speed internet from AT&T, you get the speed that's right for you. And if you call now, you can get a $100 promotional card with this great offer, only from AT&T. Call an AT&T expert to switch today.
Watching old home movies always brings a smile to my face, a smile that had faded away from my mom as her Alzheimer's disease took over. I became Mom's caretaker, and when she slowed in her walking and talking, I called Community Hospice for help.
If you need help caring for a loved one in the late stages of Alzheimer's or dementia, call Community Hospice of Baldwin County. Hospice care is free under the Medicare benefit and many private health care policies. For more information, call us at 251-943-5015.
In case of an emergency, I can always use my Lifeline cell phone to call for help.
SafeLink, the free phone program, free cell, free text, and free minutes is your connection to safety. If you qualify for programs such as SNAP or Medicaid, today you are eligible for 500 free minutes for the first 4 months and unlimited free texts.
With SafeLink, my family can feel secure when I am alone.
Call 1-800-SafeLink or visit safelink.com.
Give me
I've been standing up to bullies my whole life. Woo! Woo! I'm Mike Slocum, the Alabama Hammer. If you've been injured in a car wreck, don't let the insurance company bully you. Call me right now.
Barrow's Restful Sleep Center. Rest your body and your wallet.
For everyone, welcome to sunny Florida.
We are joining a press conference live from Pensacola about the extent of the damage. There is Sheriff David Morgan as well as Florida Governor Rick Scott.
The word out to our community. We always partner with the press. You're one of the vehicles that we use for for safety issues. Ran into many of you this morning on scene before the sun came up. I appreciate your your indulgence of us getting you out of that area at that time. I want to assure everybody that we're going to work as quickly as we can today with the county, with Gulf Power and everyone else to get the roadways cleared, make sure all utilities are off, all gas is off. We got some propane, tank issues that we need to look at. And at that time, we'll get you into the areas to get you better coverage of the devastated areas as soon as possible. But again, we beg your indulgence in this. Remember, our goal is, the safety of our citizens, the safety of our first responders, and most assuredly your safety when you come in to do your job, to report to the nation on what's occurring in Escambia County. So welcome. We're honored to have you here. And of course, we're honored to have both the Mayor of Pensacola, Ashton Hayward, with us, and most assuredly our Governor of the state of Florida, Rick Scott. So, Governor Scott, to you, sir.
Well, we just flew in to assess the damage. I talked to the sheriff earlier this morning and got a report from him, and he was out where the most of the damage was, close to the apartment complex mooring. We've been told that so far we believe there's 70+ homes that are damaged. We have about 2,700 homes without power right now, but Stan Conley and the team at Gulf Power are working hard to make sure everybody gets the power back that we can quickly. The most important thing that the sheriff will say, emergency management teams will say, the mayor will say, is we're here to make sure everybody gets back to living a normal life as quickly as we can. The city's going to do their job, the county's going to do their job, the state's going to do their job, and we're going to make sure any resources we can get from the federal government, we make that happen. All of us would say our heart goes out to anybody impacted by this. You can't imagine going through this with your family, with your children. Fortunately, we've only had 3 individuals that have been taken to hospitals right now. We believe right now that their injuries are minor, so we're hopeful for them that that's all going to go fine. But we're going to continue to assess the damage and get people back to living their lives as quickly as we can. So thank you for being here, and as like the sheriff said, thank you for helping get the message out. We've got to keep everybody safe. It's very, very important that we don't end up getting through this without any significant health issues and then somebody gets hurt after the fact. So all of us can answer any questions that you might have.
Right now, drive a new Camry or Corolla. Your choice. 0% financing for up to 72 months. And backed by our nationwide lifetime warranty at Eastern Shore Toyota.
If I get in a car wreck, I'm calling Morris Bart.
433-2210.
Injured in a car wreck? You know what to do. Just call 433-2210 or Google Morris Bart. One call, that's all.
In these dangerous times, our troops need our support to defend our freedom. But President Obama's trying to...
Every one of these are separate events. So... Anything else?
Any other questions?
Sure, if you want to Governor. Yeah, Mayor?
I want to thank the media, because in times like this, when a crisis happens, we can't do it without the media. And we all know safety is #1. And obviously the collaboration with Governor Rick Scott, with Jack Brown.
Are you a real slot player? Original real-type slots turn you...
Here from the southwest part of the county, but most importantly, our first responders are critical. We're working with the power company and law enforcement, but again, having the media here to get the messaging out is incredibly important, and that the city and county work together. And again, we can't thank Rick Scott enough for what he's done to step up every time we've had one of these disasters recently. As we all know, I'm sure the media is asking, tornadoes twice, flood, ice storms, it's incredible. So again, working together is incredible.
My face was covered with freckles and brown spots from years ago.
Governor, just a quick question. I know that
Yeah, just really briefly, I want to mention that we know that here in Escambia County, we're a very collaborative county. We work together. When things like this happen, everybody in the county rushes and wants to help. For those that want to help, and we've had a lot of volunteers showing up, understand that the site is not yet safe for volunteers to go in and help. American Red Cross is going to be leading all of the volunteer assistance. So if you have resources, if you want to help, contact the American Red Cross. They're the ones that'll be able to get you dialed in and lined up. Thanks a lot.
As the mayor said, we've had floods, we've had ice storms, now we've had these tornadoes, but you've got a great emergency management team locally. The Sheriff's Department does a great job. The mayor's team does a great job. Everybody involved here, they really work well together and get things done. And I can just say from the state standpoint, Brian Coons here that runs the state emergency management team, we're going to do the right things for each of these families. If you have a question?
Yeah, just for the people up in Century also, and now the second tornado here in Pensacola, people are looking for help. How soon could it come? I know you don't really have a timeline, but I mean,
I'll be going up to Century. I'm going to have to head up to Century today to meet with individuals up there. We've already declared a state of emergency up there. We've already providing some funds from the state budget up there now. And so we'll continue to be doing things to try to help them get back. You just feel, the sheriff kept me informed the last week, the emergency management did, and you just can't imagine this happening.
Can you describe some of the things that you just saw at Century and now here at the Morris Department? Talk about that.
I'm going to be going there. I've seen what we came in to see from the airport. I'll be going to see those now, and I'll be going to Century after we finish looking at this down here.
You said it's a second evaluation for this area separate from the Century evaluation, is that right?
Yeah, the way that you work with the feds is they're separate events.
And what are the thresholds that we should be looking for?
We'll be going. It's a certain amount per dollar in the state and a certain amount that happens in the county. So what we do immediately is we go start assessing the amount of damage to see if we meet those federal thresholds. Three individuals were taken to the hospital by the Sheriff's Department. We haven't had to take anybody to the hospitals by ambulance yet, and hopefully we won't. That was this morning, right, Sheriff?
Last night.
Last night.
Anytime again, I ask you when the streets will be back open. I know you guys are working quickly, but we're hoping sometime today by noon.
Well, first off, I-10's back open, but I don't know if you want to talk about the streets.
Yeah, we work with the county administrator, Mr. Brown here, and of course the county roads and bridges. Your road closings are going to remain fluid, and here's why. Number one, right now you'll see most are open. The folks have stepped in very quickly, got all the roads, with the chainsaws, got the major tree downings out of the way. But what's going to occur throughout the day and well into the night is working with Gulf Power. We're going to have to close off roads for them to get their power trucks in, replace poles. I believe, Governor, we heard 24 poles or 25 poles have to be replaced. 25 poles. We're actually sheared off. So there will be periodic road closings and reopenings. And again, we're going to work with the county administrator and Gulf Power to do that. So for us to give you a list, and the reason why we don't do that is this. I don't want someone listening to this press conference or on the radio going to work saying, oh, I can take Scenic Highway to work, and then they get up there and Scenic closed. And they say, well, your sheriff told us Scenic Highway was open. Well, it could be open right now, and in 30 minutes it may be closed. So please stay tuned to, to the EOC releases that they'll be doing, throughout this emergency, and that's the only way you can keep track of what's going to be open and what's going to be closed. Okay?
We're going to err on the side of public safety. It's important that, the power lines are up, and that as the crews are in, that they're not stumbling on top of people, okay?
Governor, could you explain to those that are affected by this exactly what a declaration of emergency is?
Yeah, so, Brian, do you want to... Brian. But basically the way it works is you've got to have a certain amount of damage in the state, a certain amount of damage in a county, and then there's different resources that can be provided. Some will be from the state, and some will be from the federal government. I don't know if you want to add that.
The governor's state of emergency allows us to utilize all the assets the state has available to assist the citizens of Escambia County. So it makes sure that it puts us in line for any additional programs that may be available as well.
I'd like to ask a question about the damage that you saw, and maybe the sheriff or someone else could answer this, and how miraculous it might have been for these individuals to get out with minor injuries and no fatalities here. And if you talked with with them about where they were and what they did to try to be safe.
Yeah, there was a surreal moment this morning over at the moorings, and as I understand it, we're going to allow the press to move over there with us when the governor tours the area. About 6 a.m., lady comes out of her apartment, and all around her is devastation. And what are you doing inside the perimeter? How did you get in here? And she says, well, I'm going to go to work. So she hunkered down and rode out the tornado last night, and all around her is destruction. So that is somewhat surreal. I'm not surprised by this, folks. I grew up in the Midwest. I grew up in Missouri, and tornadoes have a mind of their own. They'll jump over housing areas, or they'll jump over the house that you're in to destroy the house next door. And so that's what this tornado did. We believe it's about a 2-mile length and about a half a mile wide. But again, the governor and his folks need to get on scene. Will take as long as the governor will allow you to, but I don't want to take his time. So, we want to get you also to the scene so you can get your footage for that. Okay.
It is kind of hard to imagine that second floor being destroyed and nobody killed. For those people, do we know, sheltering on the lower level at that point?
Yes, we believe so. And again, you had a mass amount of people leaving last night. If you saw some of the news coverage, people out on the streets, and we were shuttling them to, to Cokesbury Methodist Church is one of the places that the shelter opened up for. But you'll see when you get on scene, it's for those of you who haven't experienced tornadoes, as far as from I am to that sign, there's utter devastation there, and it looks like nothing happened here. And that's the effects of a tornado. The wind, etc. I mean, I leave that to the meteorologists and the climatologists to tell you about that.
So there was preemptive evacuation?
No preemptive. Okay. No, sir. No preemptive evacuations that I'm aware of.
All right, we'll head over.
We do not.
Now, the National Weather Service will be out today surveying that. They'll be able to tell based on the damage they see as to estimate what the storm intensity was.
We'll take one more question.
You guys. All right, so we'll see you over there at the moorings.
Thanks, everyone.
What's the process for it over there?
Okay.
All right, so for the second time in the last week and a half, Florida Governor Rick Scott dealing with tornadoes in his state. Last week in Century, Florida, this week in Escambia County, Florida. He was updating us on the extent of the damage. He says 70 homes were damaged, and right now 2,700 people are without power, and Gulf Power is working to get that power back on. As you heard, the governor is leaving right now to go tour moorings apartments, and he is going to allow our cameras to go with him. So we will bring you more of those pictures coming up today at noon and have the very latest on this awful cleanup process that has to start taking place right now. So be sure to join us today for News 5 at noon. I'm Devin Walsh.